Very good. 63 will do it when it's not so busy again in the future. 985 Mobile, Sedona, Arizona.
547 Washington State District. 746 Road. ICM microphone.
Oh, we're just enjoying a spring-like weather here. We had a little rain a couple of days ago, but the next week or two it's going to be nice. We're starting to get warmer, starting to get up into the 70s here, so we're going to enjoy a nice spring.
The macaroni hammers, that is just a lot of people out there. But I know I'm dropping the hammer on that 749 there in Grass Valley, Sacramento, California. But I'll tell you what, it is rough and tough out there to hear anybody calling 547 out there. It is just rough and tough. So GX is rolling in. 547 Washington State, standing by.
Tom, 985 Operator Ray out here in the Mobile in Sedona, Arizona. Take care, sir.
That was beautiful, Bert. Somebody's calling you back. That was beautiful. Perfect work.
Go ahead. Someone is calling 985. Let me see if I can pull it out of here. 985 waving back from Sedona.
Have you ever heard two robots talking?
Hey, Bert, I'll pass the 5. They went to over there in Georgia there. 547 said that.
Very good. 431. I tell you, missed one. 15 over as time. Click on this one here in my mobile. 431. You got it.
How about that horrible waste of time?
About the fact that he doesn't give a fuck if you know who he is. Zero fucks given. How about that? That's all about that. How about he doesn't give 3 fucks if you know who it is. 0 fucks given.
Hey, now you're not looking at my station while you're talking, are you?
0 fucks given.
Tell it stop it at 7 and I can pull out.
Well, copy that. Like I said, I think you and I got a lot of similar thoughts. I was the same thing. Pretty good size tower. I got an HD on there, horizontal and vertical. And you're right, man. I either like to point it at somebody or turn my back to them. One or the other. Either I want to hear them or I don't, but it sure works well for me.
Zero fucks given. 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 Are you saying that a fucking worthless ass convict has ruined your fucking life? That someone who's supposed to be beneath you is starting to control you and how you act on your radio? Is that what I'm hearing? That some worthless ass convict has beat you up on the radio and personally injured you? Man, if you could only hear the fucking story you're telling about how weak of an individual you are. Man, it's some sad ass shit, but zero fucks given, man. Zero fucks given. So I gotta say on that, man, as soon as you get to zero life, it doesn't fucking matter. I don't fucking mind.
No, it's getting a little tough out there, but I'm still doing well, but I got to know, MFD analyzer is what I started with. I come from the old school that if you can measure it, you can manage it. And that's how I put my system together. And from that point forward, man, I've had a little bit of luck and a lot of opportunity.
Come over. Did you see the difference with the kicker back on?
Zero fucks given.
going to go on and get on with my day. I'm going to nickname you Bad Day, that's for sure. That's a good handle for you. But hope it gets better, man. And this is your buddy Chuck out here in California. I don't know if you'll ever meet me. I'm probably one of those idiots. But you try to have a great day, my friend. Thanks for the chat.
The business today. Fuck to the business today. DJ, we the new PB&J. We dropped the credit today. We did a job of the asses today. This boy with the matches and asses today. We that the way. Dollar addiction of people is acting away. Doctors of trap. Filling our patients with blood. We on a pain to trust. Fucking it work. Fucking a curse. Most of my brain in a muck. I just can't famous for blaming the fuck. Naming my way through the front. There was no training or taming of me and my truck. Look like a man, but I'm animal raw. We are the murderers there. There was the jail and we murdered the murderers there. Then with the hell and discovered the devil delivered some herders there. You said a pile of the foot. That was a pile of the foot. Only a bird in the foot. Now I give a fuck about none of this shit. You ran us over and out of this shit. Step into the spotlight. Dropping with bumpers and down is done. I'm in a rush to be numb. Dropping 1,000 ain't much. Come from the clouds on the wrist of the turn and so down in the dust. Don't make a sound, baby, hush. I am the living swipe right on the mic in the club. I don't know how to not spit like a loud. I put it proud of my kids and your cat. Half of a Mongol and mystical pain. Feeling this treacherous thing. Legends and aliens is fun out of hell. The myth is my mama's a murderous queen. Yo, I can get like a Godfather one. You get the gun as I christen my son. If I die today and they sell out your pain, tell him what Mikey said, fuck it was fun. Every new record's my chick in a pot. We get a doozy, the moon is alive. You're getting used to me doing no wrong. I don't play chicken, you crack, I'm a fun. You wanna kick it, I'll give you the rod. You kiss the wood chipper blade if you fall. I'm fucking magic and track, I'm a roll off the cross. I got a unicorn on board now. Step into the spotlight. And the crowd goes. And the crowd goes. And the crowd goes. The crowd goes. I was a room of the wind. I sip a sip of the wind. I smoke a number of stuff. Then I was sick on the wind. I'm pulling short in these fists just for the flick of the wrist. It's in that giving a miss. Me and my skip away whipping and grin. Everyday frozen when you on these wins. Fully adapted to beating on beat. Sounds like a day at the beat. Brain. I keep the devil to death on your feet before you can speak. You move on the one you think of me. You think I'm lying, you right to my teeth. You don't think I'm wrong when I'm fucking me. I put a gun to a bunny like Goose. Say something funny, your bunny go boom. You got a belly, a chick of a boom. We like the Yankee for drinking on boom. And that's from the crew you can plug. Warrant you plug for fucking shit up. We are the no gooders, do gooders, don't let us dance. We still us to do what you done. Man, you guys are take it easy out there. 635, stop now. God, that's the host of me. Right in your post of me. You're the right host of me. Just in case of rolling me. Rolling on the street, I want to keep it in the holster. I'm on the compound. I just want to let you know you're the only one that I'm hearing out with. Brooklyn, like that. On there, 357, I said that. Like Johnny Rap, no low, cause ain't no hoe in me. Notice you can't hide and cry when when I choke the speed. Set this fucking city on fire.
Okay, man, we got a snap. Crack on that pop on my receive, man. You good supposed to go through it there. We got to go on. We got to 63. 9144 North Galway.
We do it all love. The takers of the truth never singing a tune in all song.
We hollered at you a minute ago, but get you a few coming in, so we do apologize. Definitely a lot of big spaces out there, but we got the one down 9144 North Cal, what's your address? Yeah, we hear you out there at 6-3, and there's a couple other guys from North Carolina, and plus we got a long Mr. Paul out there.
But all the sinners said, you running out of ways to go fuck yourself, I will innovate. Your shitty grin'll disintegrate. Every sickening sentence will keep it in tricks to venerate. Set the phrases to trade place.
Oh, good to hear you out there, Paul. Yeah, we got the water. My radio was knocked off. Yeah, we got a silver noise level out here, and not for anybody out that we heard you not really heard here, so we'll give you a shout out there, and we'll shout out there.
I don't think it's typical, really. You know, 1 or 2, but man. All right, 63. I just heard you and your meeting boys on the west lake at that time. Thought I could see if I could get your attention. All right, 63. I don't know if we've talked in the last 2 weeks. I don't think we have. I got a different radio here, so does it sound all right on your end?
how about a Rick? Rick, did you get that radio on? How about a Rick 33? 985 Mobile, Arizona.
Hey, Roger D, I hope the weather's cooperating with you. We got cloudy skies and a gloom generally out here in the last part of April, March rather. And we just heard you out there. I want to give you a shout. Windy City out there, 528, good numbers to you. And we're at the John Wayne Airport, copy 357.
Hey, Rick, I hear you in there. I hear you calling. Try it again, Rick, 985.
Tampa Bay, we hear ya. Spokane, Washington. Southwest. Thanks for the shout. Have a great evening coming up.
Did I hear some of that Mother Nature stuff today? I thought I maybe heard some of that Mother Nature coming in. By the way there, guys, you can dial them in. This is the one that's on frequency. Sit back to it, guys, so they can with the AZs. You're on the same frequency I am. But just to let all these other guys know that they're off, dial it into this one right here, 10987-654-321. Go ahead. There you go. That's much better. That's what we want to hear. Hey, North Carolina, you're showing up around the desert, top of the day. There you go. Yeah, this is the one that's on. It doesn't matter what radio you got. This is the one that's on. Right, NIST calibrated test equipment, just to verify with the GPS discipline oscillator before we keyed up. This is the one. Stay tuned in. It's a freebie that I offer from time to time. Tempor? Oh, you're loud and clear too, man. Loud and clear. Doing a good job around the desert.
California 357.
No. We exposed the con artists and the hack shops and the hocus pocus right there in the CB Radio Hall of Shame. That's what you want to advertise right there. Go ahead. Every time you get those con artists from the CB Radio Hall of Shame group in there, that's what you get. All these little window lickers. Go away. Yeah, yep. That's what you get. Hear them off-frequency radios. They sound all muddy and sound like Donald Duck. That's from the CB Radio Hall of Shame crowd. Yep, that's where they're at. The window lickers from the CB Radio Hall of Shame crowd. Poor little guys. Why don't you get a life and don't be so miserable? Are you miserable because I've exposed you? Is that what it is? Lick your little paws and get back under the porch. Right. Hey guys, like I said before, if you can't show me, it's not anybody else you got to prove it to. If you want to show me you got some calibrated test equipment, do a video that you actually have it and you know how to operate. Until then, your little voices and opinions are worthless. Nobody wants to hear your opinion. Nobody cares about opinions. We want the facts. Just like the facts, the CB Radio Hall of Shame group. Stay tuned in. Yeah, the undesirables. I mean, it sounds like this is worse than Sesame Street. You guys ought to go down to the bowl from time to time and learn some radio etiquette. Yeah. The frauds and the window lickers and the con artists and the chop shop. Most of those guys come from the Striker S Radio Club SRC group. The other one's okay, but that SRC group, it's the frauds, the con artists, the golden screwdriver jockeys. It's unbelievable.
Take my wife!
Yep, that's them. Yep, the frauds, the con artists, the golden screwdriver jockeys, and con artists and hack shops, and hocus pocus. Right there in that Striker Radio Club SRC. That's what it stands for. Scammer Radio Club. Yep. That's where the technicians. Well, actually, they're magicians, not technicians. Just check it out. You'll be laughing your butts off. Make sure you check out the CB Radio Hall of Shame crowd. Hey, you're welcome. Oh, there's 657. Watch out for those window lickers in there. Right, yeah, all the con artists and the golden screwdriver jockey, the butchers, the butchers of the radio community. That's where they're at. Check it out. It's usually live stuff, you know. It's where customers have wanted to send their radios in to have them verified and tested. That's a real bench. Not hocus pocus or digital junk, but real stuff. That's where you'll find them at the CB Radio Hall of Shame crowd. Yeah, they're crying like little babies. That's the little con artists out there. You gotta watch them now. Yep, yeah. Hear them crying. Yeah, they've all been exposed. That's what we do, is expose the little con artists out there. Stop your crying already. Stop your whining. Go somewhere else. No matter where you go, everybody's tired of hearing you. Get out of here. Right. That's the little crowd there from the city. If you guys haven't heard about it or seen it, you got to check it out. I mean, that Striker Radio Club or, you know, the SRC or the Hall of Shame. I mean, these guys, what they do is they'll try to tune up a radio, show a low-level modulated waveform on a scope, a high-level modulated radio on the bench, a waveform on the scope, 103 watts, you know, on the meter, but the radio's not even connected to the coax. That's the kind of stuff we expose, you know, the golden screwdriver jacking, hack shop, con artists, and just BS artists, you know. I mean, if they don't got calibrated test equipment, oh, God. Yep, that's what we got out there in the CB radio world. And the little crybabies out there, they're just whining and sniveling. They're so miserable. That's them. Yes, exposing them one at a time. Benders showing up. Yeah, the poor little guys are crying so bad they've been exposed, and all their little background singers trying to back up a con artist and scumbags. Oh, God, it must be pretty bad knowing that you've associated with a scumbag. Do you feel that bad? What you ought to do is grow up. Yeah, they've been exposed in the CB Radio Hall of Shame. That's what it is. Time you get the undesirable, you know, crash dummy window licker group in there, that's what you get on this frequency or anywhere. Every time you hear somebody whining and splattering, they're one of those hack shops from that CB Radio Hall of Shame. Hi there, Cleveland, Ohio. You showed up around the desert. Top of the day. Watch out for those window lickers. Yeah, they're out there. All right, around Cleveland, you take care, man. Born and raised right there by that mistake on the lake. Have yourself a wonderful day. Mud Duck radio station in the desert, exposing them one at a time. That's what we do, man. It's just like, anymore, you want someone really, one of their radios, what you got to do is either do the best you can. If you're a technician, we do still offer a service, and sometimes it's private, sometimes it's not. It's $2,000, $2,000 if you want it actually verified, either your shop or whatever you do yourself. Make sure that it's sealed and no hocus pocus. And if it's your work, seal it up the best that you can. And contact me on Facebook in your real name. I don't tolerate any kind of hocus pocus. I got no time for it. But seal it up real good, your real name on Facebook, 15 words or less. Contact me and I'll give you the address. And we'll do a live video. Sometimes they're live. You know, I got a whole list of them. And sometimes we'll just do a video. It's no longer $200. Its time is expensive. The bench is expensive. You want to see what your actual shop can actually do, what it does on calibrated test equipment, the real deal, then contact me on Facebook. Yeah, we have exposed, you know, the hack shops, you know, the con artists and the hocus pocus. Yeah, we're all sick of it. Yeah, we're all sick of it. There's a whole list of them in there on the CB Radio Hall of Shame, the con artists, the butchers, and the hack shops. We're all sick of it. Go away there, window lickers. Yep, that's where the frauds are. The hocus pocus, the undesirables of the CB Radio community. Yeah, all them golden screwdriver jockeys, they don't even have calibrated test equipment. Take pictures and stuff. It's unbelievable in this day and age. For all the videos I get out there exposing these guys and explaining in detail, some people are just gullible. Yep, the window lickers are rolling in there from all over the place. The window lickers from the CB Radio Hall of Shame. By the way, you're sounding good, and you're on spot on frequency, too. Good job. Yeah, the window lickers, you don't want to associate with that stuff. You don't want it getting on you, and not even duct tape will fix that stuff. It seems like they've all originated around from that Striker Radio Club SRC, the Scammer Radio Club. Just check it out. You'll laugh your butt off when you see how they're exposed in plain as day sight. Not no hocus pocus, but I've been exposing. There's going to be a whole bunch more coming up this year, too. Stay tuned in. Yeah, these guys doing videos with uncalibrated test equipment. They don't have a Faraday cage. Here's the biggest one. They actually try to show you, time-based and or, going into a spectrum analyzer with either a sampler or a filter. Now, all that hocus pocus. If they can't connect straight to a spectrum analyzer, you got to find someone who's competent and not playing that hocus pocus on you. It's just been ridiculous and all the hocus pocus, all the videos that people send me. I ain't got time for that anymore. If it pays me well, I'll have time for it. Yeah, if it pays me well and I can expose these other hack shops, it's pretty easy. All you gotta do is watch some of the videos and how you actually set up a bench. But they gotta be buying this flea market test equipment. All of a sudden on their kitchen table they call themselves a technician. It's like one of those guys in the Striker Radio Club, like I was just saying. He's got a low-level modulated waveform on his scope. It's not even calibrated. It's probably from a flea market somewhere. He's got a little, I don't know what kind of meter it is, Radio Shack or something. It shows 103 watts on it. Shows 27.185 megahertz, Sesame Street, but the radio's not even connected to the coax. That's the kind of guys we expose. It's just funny. It's actually sad that there's people that are that gullible that spend money on junk and get ripped off all the time. So what we do is expose the fraud, the hack shops, the butcher shops, etc. Stay tuned in. You know who it is. Every time you get the undesirable window lickers in there, that's what you get. Hello there, around Canada. I couldn't catch that number, but hello, around Canada. You showing up around the desert. Yeah, dude, you hear more of those window licker con jobs in there? They're trying to get in there from that Striker Radio Club SRC. Well, most people call them scumbags. You'll notice that the people are dropping out of there left and right. All their hocus pocus and fake news, golden screwdriver jockeys. Just a bunch of con artists from the Striker Radio Club SRC. Pay attention. Yeah. They don't even have calibrated test equipment. They work on a kitchen table. Poor little guys. I swear to God. Something else. Yeah. There's nobody in there. I don't think if you took them all and put them all in one place, they couldn't repair, tune, and install a radio. Yeah, it's from the CB Radio Hall of Shame. Check it out. See, that's what you're hearing right now, the undesirables of the CB radio community. Right, stop your whining. You've been exposed, and that's what I do is expose you little window lickers. Now just go lick your little paws, go underneath the porch and stay there for a while till you figure things out. It's pathetic. You get these con artists and golden screwdriver jockeys out there. One at a time. You guys police your own. You won't have to listen to this. It'll just be on YouTube. Otherwise, it's going to be spread all over the place. Hey, window lickers, you've been exposed. Stop hacking up radios. You need calibrated test equipment to stay out of them. Right. We expose all those frauds in the CB Radio Hall of Shame. Have a good day, guys. Yeah, they're all exposed right there in that CB Radio Hall of Shame. All you got to do is read any of the descriptions below, the videos. Most of the technicians, the experienced ones with, integrity, will tell you that is the Bible. If you want it done right, and they'll tell you got to go see hard drive. Yeah. How come all those little DX radios are all at frequency? Where's some of those good sounding ham radios at? I just hear a bunch of bumblebees right now. Hey, 5-1 around Georgia, top of the day, sounding good around the desert, man. Hey, watch out for those window lickers. Don't get on you. 5-1 around Georgia. Take care. Got a little bit of compression on? Not too bad. I hear it, man. Not bad. Yeah, that's all those little con jobs and schemers, scammers, and fraudsters. You'll find them there. There's going to be a bunch more on the list before too long, but that's what you hear in those little guys right now, whining and crying because they've been exposed in that CB Radio Hall of Shame crowd. Most of them come from that Striker Radio Club. SRC stands for, Scammer Radio Club. Pay attention. Yeah. You guys keep flapping them little gums. Go ahead. I just keep exposing you more and more. Every time you key up on those little, whatever you're talking on that frequency, who got in that radio? Dave White on his kitchen table? Oh, there we go.
What is a window licker?
That's it. Exposing them one at a time on that CB Radio Hall of Shame group.
What is a window licker? Hello.
They're always so miserable. You ever notice that? They're always miserable, high frequencies, splattering all over the place. Yeah, go figure.
That's a window licker?
Now, I'd say that the SRC group's got to be as bad as that worldwide DX. You ever notice that no one ever has any integrity at all? If they had any integrity, they would show me. They wouldn't try to address nobody else. They would show me that they have an actual bench and calibrated test equipment. They don't have calibrated test equipment in which where you could plug your radio straight into the spectrum analyzer. Why would you even bother opening your mouth with an opinion? Nobody cares about opinions. We all want the facts. Pay attention to CB Radio Hall of Shame.
What's the CB Hall of Shame?
Yeah, just a bunch of little scammers out there, keyboard warriors. If you can't hear them, if you can't see their bench, and calibrated test equipment, they're just nothing but a scammer. That's it, period. Right, if they can't show it, they don't know it. They're just little scammers. If they can't show you a bench with calibrated, test equipment, and number one, for receive, if they're not inside of a Faraday cage, it's just a backyard, hack shop, period. I mean, that's just pretty well known facts, for Radio 101. And if you can't plug in a radio directly without some kind of filter or sampler, why would you believe anything that they ever would say? I mean, that's Radio 101 also. If you can't plug directly into your spectrum analyzer, they just got some junk that they don't even know what they're using. If you can't plug in straight into your spectrum analyzer, you may as well hang it up. Right. You need a service monitor. You're how far off frequency everybody is, and they're all sound like Donald Ducks. Some of the ham radios sound real good, but the other ones, oh my God, listen to them. You must have been to that kitchen table tune, right? Yeah, that's what we do, expose the schemers, scammers, fraudsters, and the hack shops. Canada? I heard some Canada and Georgia trying to get in there, too. You gotta watch out for those window lickers now. Watch out for the window lickers from the CB Radio Hall of Shame crowd. Yeah, they're being exposed, one at a time, so they're whining like little babies. Just like little babies, immature little babies, what they sound like with an AQ probably below 87 is what it's starting to sound like. But they come from Mass Striker Radio Club SRC, what can you expect? Can't believe they're even talking on some of those radios. Right. You'll find them all, and an example. What most technicians, ones with integrity, if you read below, it's what's called the CB Radio Bible. If they don't have that for a minimum of test equipment, don't let them touch your radio. Just buy it from Amazon and hook it up. Yeah, those kitchen table tunes, they're just hacking them up. They don't have the proper knowledge or test equipment. Just check it out. CB Radio Hall of Shame. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. If you can't connect directly to your spectrum analyzer, you're either incompetent or a con artist. It's that simple. Don't argue. Right. They'll be filtering out the harmonics. They'll be filtering out 40, 60, 80 dB of the signal. That's just a con artist. That's all there is to it. And if you didn't know it, now you know it now. Don't bother showing anything unless you got, calibration certificates and you can plug directly into your spectrum analyzer. Otherwise, we don't want to see it. Now that you know it for a fact, and there's plenty of videos covering that topic, if you can't plug directly into your spectrum analyzer, you're either incompetent or a con artist. It's that simple. Right. Yes. You got to spend some money for decent, equipment, but that's a fact. It's going to cost you some money. Yeah, about $5-6 grand, you could have something decent. Hey, Mobile Washington State, you're showing up around the desert, top of the day. CQDX 187, Washington State, sound and get around the desert, top of the day, 153, Mud Duck Radio, New Mexico. Yeah, we got a bunch of these little window lickers from the CB Radio Hall of Shame in there right now. They're just prime. They've been exposed as frauds, con artists, and schemers and scammers. That's all they do is cry. Crack. If they can't show you calibrated test equipment, stay away. Unless you just need parts swapped around. Anybody can swap parts. Yeah, they're just crying. They've been exposed. Hack shops and window lickers. I'm going to give you another 10 count. Dial them in. This is the one that's on frequency. It's a freebie. 10-987-654-321. Go ahead. It's 6 and a 5 Virginia. 6 and a 5 Virginia. Good sound station. You're making the trip through all that trash out there. Hello around Love Country. Mud Duck Radio in the desert. Right, yeah, they've been exposing one at a time to the little window lickers and schemers and scammers and golden screwdriver jockeys right there at the CB Radio Hall of Shame crowd. Yep, exposing them one at a time. Hear them crying out there, whining, fake news and fake BS. So you guys have been exposed. That's all there is to it, whether you like it or not. You talk on your garbage you're talking on, and we'll talk on something that's been fine-tuned, not peaked and ruin. Stay tuned in. You know who it is. Look, man, because you flunked your audition, you got the boot because of your disrespect to the airways, or to me, I mean, now you get to deal with whatever's left out there. Stop your crying. You got the boot. That's all there is to it. Good day. Yeah, they cried. He got the boot, you know. Fake names and all kinds of fake stuff. They're just disrespectful. The undesirables of the CB radio community. No, I expose people like you in the Hall of Shame. That's where it's been exposed. The real blacklist, that's the entire key right there. The real one. Yep, the real one. No hocus pocus. I expose all your hocus and pocus from the CB Radio Hall of Shame crowd. And just type it in. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's the undesirables of the CB Radio. The golden screwdriver jockeys, you know? That's what they are, the golden screwdriver jockey crowd. That's what it is. Yeah. It's been going on now for like about, 8, 9 years. Since YouTube and Facebook, I've done it, for decades, but now it's all documented. Pretty much, who's been hacking them up, ripping people off, the fraud, the scams, the slander, all that stuff. It's right there in the CB Radio Hall of Shame. Live on YouTube, not hocus pocus. And again, if you can't show me, you don't have to show nobody else. You got to show me. You got that calibrated test equipment. You got to show me you can use it and make sure that your spectrum analyzer is direct connect. We don't want to see no con artist stuff. If you can't directly connect to your spectrum analyzer, what are you doing in cyber radio? Ripping people off? Right. If you can't show it directly connected, it's a waste of time. It's just a con artist. Yep, con artist. Window lickers, man. Don't you know when you've been beat, Hey, window lickers and golden screwdriver jockeys, you've been exposed. That's all there is to it. We don't want to hear you anymore. You're wasting airtime. It's all negativity. You've been exposed. Accept the facts. That's what it is, and just move on with your life. And you got to pay the piper. Stay out of them radios. Around Georgia, you're showing up around the desert. So 595 New York, top of the day, sounding good around the desert. Spot on frequency and sounding good too. There 595, well, you're doing the same over here, whether it's AM or sideband 595 around New York. Take care, doing a good job. Yeah, the window lickers, it's ridiculous out there. The undesirables of the CB radio, they stand out. It's good to expose them from time to time, Yeah, the window lickers. The window lickers, just type it in. The window lickers, the CB Radio Hall of Shame, the undesirables of the CB radio community. Fraudsters, scamsters, hack shops, you'll see exactly who they are. Pay attention. There's going to be a whole bunch more on that list. None. The ones that are on there, I really haven't seen anybody, improve themselves yet. Like I've stated, decades ago, if they actually had calibrated test equipment and knew how to use it, they would be ashamed at the work that they actually do and how much work and how much more skills they'd have to achieve to be able to make their equipment perform exceptionally well while using calibrated test equipment due to the fact that their little meter baiter skills won't work anymore. Tempor? Right. Meter baiters, that's what we call them, meter baiters. Right. If they actually had to use calibrated test equipment, that just shows if they got integrity or not. If they got calibrated test equipment, they got integrity. If they don't, they don't. Right. That's like I said, there's a bunch of them on the EM guys too. Because if you actually use calibrated test equipment and use test equipment instead of meters, you realize that your work really sucks and you have to work a lot harder to get a radio clean to outperform those dirty radios. But once you get it down pat, cleaner's meters, nothing's going to touch it. Now them Kentwoods and the Yaezus and ICOMs, now those do pretty darn good. Yeah, they do. 813 World Radio, you're doing a good job around the desert. Top of the day, sounding good. Spot on frequency too. Mud Duck Radio in the desert. Hi there, 813. I've been hearing you too, man. Yeah, you're coming right through those golden screwdriver jockeys out there. Be careful now, man. There's window lickers in there. You don't want to get none of that stuff on you, or be guilty by association. Take care, man. 813, Mud Duck Radio, New Mexico. We're moving on. Hi there, Will Ray. Yeah, it's actually kind of sad you get those window lickers and crash dummies in here, but it is what it is. They got to be exposed from time to time. Yeah, 813 Florida or Georgia. Man, we woke up at about 41 degrees over here. Not too bad. Supposed to get up to around 60. All right, I had my fun for the day. That was my lunch break. I got to get back to building more of these Striker 955s for truck drivers. Some base station guys like them too. But 813, take care. Mud Duck Radio, New Mexico. We're clear and gone, maybe. Roll in. Poor little guys, you hear them in there whining and crying, making up stories. Hey, window lickers, people are smarter than you think. Yep, they've been exposed one at a time. I've exposed them one at a time with facts. That's it. Just type in CB Radio Hall of Shame, Golden Screwdriver Jockey Hack Jobs, con artists and scammers. Pay attention.
QSL, man. Take care, my friend. Have a great rest of the day coming up.
Hello there, Northeast Ohio. You're showing up around the desert. Northeast Ohio. Take care. There, yeah, man, it's hard drive. Hey, Northeast Ohio, hopefully you're having a good day up there, man. Do me a favor, I grew up in Cleveland. When you start seeing and smelling those dandelions, think about me, but I'm out here in the desert. When it rains out here, it's got some beautiful smells, and so does it up there in the northeast, the west. You wake up in the morning, the light comes in, just another beautiful day in paradise. It's embarrassing to hear those crash dummies and window lickers out there from that CB Radio Hall of Shame group. It really is embarrassing to humanity just to hear them. The undesirables of the CB radio community. They come from that Striker Radio Club, SRC, scammers. Yep, SRC, Scammer Radio Club. Just type it in, check it out. Don't be left in the mud or with your head, in the dark. Make sure you pay attention to what's really going on. Yeah, they come from that CB Radio Shop Hall of Shame, one at a time. Yeah, that's where they hear them crying, and they cry more and more when you expose them like that. You know, from the hack shops, the scammers, you know, the radio butchers, kitchen table hack monsters. They come in here and cry like little babies. Stop your crying, eh, golden screwdriver jockeys. Where's your calibrated test equipment? I haven't seen your video yet. We don't want to hear you or see you until you can show calibrated test equipment. Only people that are golden screwdriver jockeys and con artists claim that they know anything about a radio without showing the proof. We want to see the proof. If you can't connect your radio directly to the spectrum analyzer, stay out of radios and stop hacking them up. They get really mad when they hear the facts. Exactly. They get in there with that golden screwdriver jockey stuff and crank them up all the way to the right. Look at that swing. Yeah, it's the undesirables of the CB radio community from the Striker Radio Club SRC. Yep. Just type in CB Radio Hall of Shame. I heard somebody waving in there, but we got some of those little window lickers in there scratching. Hello there, Toledo, Ohio. What's going on, man? Hello, Toledo, Ohio. Showing up real good around the desert. Last time, hey, Toledo, Ohio. When's the last time you've been to Cedar Point? Toledo, Ohio. Yeah, Cedar Point used to be a cool thing. I used to enjoy going up there. I used to ride a bicycle from Cleveland to Sandusky back and forth. Anyways, Toledo, Ohio, you'll sound real good around the desert. Watch out for those golden screwdriver jockeys from the CB Radio Hall of Shame now. Pay attention. Enjoy the day. Miserable little window lickers in there, that's for sure. It's so miserable. They got caught up and exposed in this CB Radio Hall of Shame group. Yep. Poor little guys are so miserable. Just the little guys. Miserable. Yeah, it's worse than a bunch of little kids. Listen to them. They've been exposed, so they're going to cry. All their little scheming and scamming and all their fake accounts. Yeah, it's pathetic. Isn't it funny how their radios just kind of suck? Poor little guys are miserable. They got the boot. Yeah, they're miserable. Just downright miserable. So I guess, once they've been exposed, for being a con artist and a snake oil salesman, that's how they act. It's just they don't want to accept responsibility. No, never accept responsibility. That's the window lickers out there, that golden screwdriver Jackie con artist group from the Striker Radio Club SRC, right there in that CB Radio Hall of Shame crowd. Yeah, the fraudsters, they've been exposed, so they're going to come on this frequency and try to just tap the airways with all their nonsense. They sound like they're smoking crack or doing something. I don't know, they sound like Donald Duck over here. Yeah, it's pathetic. Those guys in the CB Radio Hall of Shame, the con artists and the hack job. Just type it in, you'll see what we're talking about. Get up to speed, pay attention. Right. I've been exposed to them now for many years, but now it's all facts. You want to see live videos and exactly what people are doing and how they're screwing up and the hocus pocus they're playing, pay attention. Yeah, if they don't have, calibrated test equipment, come on, you gotta be serious. It'd be like someone trying to paint your car outside with the wind blowing in the dirt. Right. I don't know about loco. How about loco? Where you at? Hello, around Georgia. You're still up around the desert. Pretty good. Hey, Ron, Georgia, you take care, man. Showing up good. Spot on frequency, mud duck in the desert. We'll be listening.
73 there. Enjoy that hot dog, Roger. All right, see you.
856 showing up real good, bud. Hello, 856, top of the day. Hi, around northern New Jersey, 856, top of the day. Watch out for those window lickers, man. Don't get none on you. Until next time, 856. Yeah, you came straight on through. You sounded real good, top of the day. Mud Duck Radio Station in Mexico. We'll be listening. Hello, around Delaware, showing up around the desert, sounding good. All that noise in there, that's those window lickers and crash dummies with the inferiority complexes. Hear them in there? Poor little guys are so miserable from that CB Radio Hall of Shame group.
Hell yeah.
So good. That's that mentality, the undesirables, those little kids out there, all that solo sounds and playing music, being off frequency. That's from the CB Radio Hall of Shame group. Yeah, they're just fraudsters, scammers, fraudsters. They can't show you real calibrated test equipment, especially, inside of a Faraday cage. That's radio school 101. I mean, literally. And if you can't connect the radio directly to a spectrum analyzer, what are they trying to do? What kind of wool are they trying to pull over your eyes, right?
Well, can
they bought junk. Yes, actual real test equipment costs money, but, if they're trying to connect directly to a spectrum analyzer or a service monitor, they're using an attenuator. They're just trying to hide stuff. It's either like this. They're either trying to hide, they're fraudsters, what they are. They're trying to hide what's actually coming out of that radio, or they're incompetent. See, it's one or the other. Take your pick. If you can't connect the radio directly to a spectrum analyzer, you don't want them touching your radio. This is Radio 101, you might be going audio into the microphone. I'll try to tune it. Right, you can hear them out there now. Listen how nasty they sound. If you can't go straight into your spectrum analyzer, they either bought the wrong one, they're trying to learn or experiment on your equipment, or they're a con artist, plain and simple. Just think, it's either 40 or 60 dB attenuated. So where's that 40 or 60 dB of distortion at? All the out-of-band harmonics, all those spikes, etc. They're just playing hocus pocus on you, hoping that you're stupid. That's what they're hoping for, that you're stupid. Yeah, they're just hoping that you're stupid. That's what they think. They're just slapping you in the face with it. They think you're stupid, showing you a video without calibrated test equipment where they can't go directly into the spectrum analyzer from the radio. Right. Yeah, if they can't go direct, if they don't have calibrated test equipment inside of a Faraday cage, hear them crying out there?
Now, the guys that actually have some form of integrity, they're probably hanging their head now, realizing they've been doing it wrong so long, and realizing, my God, that mud duck in the desert works pretty good. It's all calibrated test equipment, where you can actually go directly into the spectrum analyzer to see what you're really doing, instead of playing that hocus pocus fraud stuff. If you guys just go out and, see you're fine-tuned or get it on, Amazon, don't let anybody touch it. Nobody. Don't let them touch it. Or if you're just strictly sideband, just go out and buy FTDX10, 7300. I don't know the Kenwood models, but there's a lot of guys in there sitting back right now scratching their head. But that's all you got to do. But I wouldn't do that in a mobile. A sideband like that, sideband radio in a mobile, like a 7300 is going to be too complicated to operate while you're driving. But if you strictly just do sideband, then those radios are really good for a base. And don't let anybody touch it. Because all the export radios, especially for sideband, if you can't go directly straight into the spectrum analyzer, you can't tune it. Yeah, the harmonics, the IND, the balancing, it's just so far up, it's ridiculous. So it'll be 40 dB that's missing. All these guys that try to show you the hocus and pocus, and there's a couple of guys on YouTube, it's hilarious, but some guys actually believe it, but that's because they think that the consumer's that stupid, so I told them one at a time. Georgia, I got you, man. You showed up around in the desert. Hello, Georgia. Especially when you start tuning sideband, if you can't go direct into the spectrum analyzer, you just stay out of the radio. Yeah, and the stock vinyls, they'll never work. They'll work, but the intermodulation distortion, the harmonics, the out-of-band spikes are just unbelievable. But they're usually 40 dB down. That's why these guys try to play their hocus pocus on you. It's like they're playing three-card Monte over by the trash can at the back of a truck stop type of thing, They're very disrespectful and misleading. Pay attention. Yeah, you gotta stop and think what I've seen from coast to coast in the last 40 years. Stop and think what I've seen. Oh, yeah. Hey, now it's over 40 years, actually. There in your mail. Go ahead and pay him, will you?
You still working at Jack in the Box?
Profanity, calling people. That's one of those window lickers from that Golden Screwdriver Jockey Club. The schemers, scammers, and fraudsters. Just type it in. You'll see what I'm talking about. Oh, God, we got another window. Christ. I think he's gone beyond window licker. He's made it all the way to crash dummy.
Your mama.
Expose, man. That's all there is to it. Lick your little paws and get back under the porch. Come out when you go to integrity. Yeah, they come out out here, call people names. Someone that's actually doing something, you know, you can actually hear it. The one that's actually doing something. Yep. They want that person just left and right. Poor little guys are so miserable. Just another day of paradise. Oh, yeah. Yeah, though, I'm not sure. You know, every decade or every solar cycle like this, these little window lickers show up, you know, and try to make all kinds of hate discotheques. All their lies and fake news. You want to see the real truth, it's just type in Barefoot Mobile Mud Dog Radio. And or read a description below any video. You'll see, like I said, the bare minimum. Of course, you need calibrated test equipment, but you'll see the bare minimum was actually required to tune AM, FM, sideband transceiver with CW. That's the bare minimum. If you can't, you know, connect your radio directly to a spectrum analyzer, I mean, what good is it? It's pretty much useless. You got to consider it's like a 40, 60, 80 dB attenuator. Then all these guys, if they're doing that, you know they're playing hocus pocus. They got some cheap filter hiding behind the meter somewhere. If you can't see them directly connect the radio straight to the spectrum analyzer with one wire plain in view, I highly recommend that you find someone who's competent and honest. Stay tuned in, you know who it is. Yeah, all that other stuff is just hocus pocus, very dishonest. If they can't show you direct, you know, it's got to be calibrated test equipment. Yes, it's going to cost you around $5,000 or so, but it takes money to do that, to work accurately. About $5,000, you could have something decent. Probably cheaper if you buy something used, and you definitely want analog. You need analog test equipment, not all that digital stuff. If you're not producing true analog tones, to actually look at the waveform, you're going to be seeing all that PLL phase shift noise, and that's not what you want either. It's all got to be old analog test equipment for old analog radios if you want the best performance and what you're paying for. If they can't go direct, literally, I mean, if they argue with this topic, they're either a con artist or incompetent. It's pretty simple. It's not hard to figure out. If they can't go direct straight from the back of the radio, no hocus pocus, zero. There's zero excuses. If there's an excuse, they're either incompetent or a con artist. Make sure that whenever you see a radio being tested or tuned, that you can see it go straight from the back of the radio in sight. That piece of coax connected straight to the front of the spectrum analyzer. Otherwise, it's a guaranteed hocus pocus. Oh, there you go. You get all your stuff. What do you get from North Korea? I'm curious. Okay, well, it's working. Yeah, so you obviously know that. I mean, anybody that's been doing this or anyone that's got integrity and knows how to tune a radio and or repair them knows that if you can't go direct to the spectrum analyzer, it's just you're wasting your time and money. You got these guys with their 40 dB attenuators. Oh, that's just as bad as that Striker Radio Club SRC. Now, this is where all the con artists are. I wouldn't even be associated with that group. I do know some people in there to keep an eye on things. But, I mean, you got guys in there that try to tune a radio. They'll show a waveform on some uncalibrated flea market scope sitting in the corner out of arm's reach. That's the funny thing. You can always tell when someone actually knows what they're doing by how they got their test equipment set up, if they're just being fraudulent or not, you know. Anyways, this David White from that Striker Radio Club SRC tries to show that he tunes radios, and he shows a low-level modulator. Some of you guys that know what I'm talking about know. But he shows a low-level modulator waveform on the scope. The radio on the bench is a high-level AM radio. He shows the frequency on a counter and 103 watts on the meter, but the radio's not even connected to the coax. That's the kind of people we're talking about here.
Illinois, NorCal 211, wave it.
Yeah, I dig you, man. Just like that guy said, just imagine if you hooked a coax
Hey,
up.
John, I'll tell
Would
you
that
what,
have been
man, that
206
radio's
watts?
ripping all the way out here to the west coast. I'm about 60 miles north of Sacramento, California, man, but sounds like you're right next door.
Yeah, they like to pick on the guy that actually tries to show something worthwhile. Anyways, we're going to be sandbagging again.
Hey, copy that, brother. Well, I'd rather be lucky
Yeah, with the little window lickers and
Anyway, man,
the
thought I'd give you a
yappers
holler,
day after
brother.
day. We're all
Have a great
tired of
day.
hearing it
Keep
go
putting
away.
truck on the side.
You guys do
NorCal
understand that we're
211
tired of it.
off.
The more I hear, the more you're going to hear us, Father. The more I hear, the more I will expose one at a time. Whether you like it or not, it's not up to you. It's not your opinion. We're tired of the golden screwdriver jockeys and the undesirables. We're all tired of it. Bottom line, if they're not in a Faraday cage, I mean, you just get it on Amazon. Don't let these guys touch them. If they're not in a Faraday cage, and I got a video coming up soon after recertification of some test equipment, we're going to show exactly what happens if you're not inside of a Faraday cage. But if they don't have calibrated test equipment, some guys say, oh, it doesn't matter. I mean, that is golden screwdriver, jockey. It's like someone trying to build your house with a yardstick or a piece of string, you know? So anyways, just imagine if they can't plug straight into the service monitor or the spectrum analyzer. I mean, right off the bat, as much as I've talked about this throughout the decades, if you have a sampler, you got to have a sampler. I got a sampler, but I also go direct. That's why I've got like $6,000, $7,000 into the spectrum analyzer service monitor to be able to expose exactly what radios do and or the golden screwdriver jockeys. Stop whining there, little window lickers and crash dummies. Stop your whining. We're all tired of it. If they don't have calibrated test equipment and or a spectrum analyzer, they can't go direct. I mean, piece of coax from the radio to the spectrum analyzer, they are a shyster, plain and simple. Right, exactly. That's being a fraud. Now, most spectrum analyzers, the cheaper ones, you know, you can't do that. If you specialize in actual radio equipment, not just very low power, but actually, you know, microwave, etc. If you actually, you know, specialize in radio equipment, especially 10-meter radios, these exports, if they don't have the actual real, you know, calibrated test equipment with the actual loads and calibrated. Now, I don't mean just hocus pocus. If they don't have the actual equipment, they know this. You know, I've already spoke about this over and over for decades. But if they already know it, but they elect to evade the facts, they're playing hocus pocus on you. They think you're that stupid, all right? They think you're that stupid. Pay attention now. Right, if you can't go straight into the spectrum analyzer from the radio, I don't care if it's 50 watts, 100 watts, if they can't show you that, pay attention, sit back and let this settle in. They're a con artist or incompetent, one or another, take your pick. Right. Yep, you hear them out there just babbling them little gums? We're all sick of it, window lickers. We're sick and tired. 65 in the mountains, just sounding good around southwest New Mexico, top of the day. Hi there, 5 1/4. I just want to acknowledge you. I heard you in there. Just step back into the shop. 525 around the mountains. You have yourself a wonderful day. Your spot on frequency and sound great. 153 in the desert. We're clearing up the key. Bye-bye.
What the fuck? No doubt, Aaron, it is train wreck. Hey, good afternoon. Oh, nothing much, man, nothing much. Just chilling over here waiting for that delivery.
There, you got there, get your waiting on the ball joints there, go ahead.
I got the ball joints and I got the CV boot. I'm actually...
There, 149 Buckeye State. Not going to stay long, but I just wanted to acknowledge that I heard you. 149 around the Buckeye. I grew up in Cleveland, man. So I'm saying hello, neighbor. 149 around the Buckeye. 153 Mud Duck Station, New Mexico. We're clear. Bye.
Strap, puller, and cutter.
Oh, Roger. Yeah, I kind of remember that stuff back in the days of the front-wheel drive repair. You know, the cutters and the holders and straps and all the different tips you can get for the boots and all kinds of crazy crap.
Yeah, there's a bunch of crap that I gotta do, and, you know, I gotta do each one different, you know, the bands have to be the way that the shaft's fitting so it doesn't get ripped off. There's certain things like that, even though this one's got really big bus bars and it shouldn't matter, I'm still gonna do the bands the right direction, and all that gives me the ability to do it, because the ones that come from the factory, they're all just banded one way. But, yeah, I'm waiting on that. I got the new CV boots, I got the grease here. I got it all. I'm just waiting on, what do you want to call it? Just waiting on the bander.
Hey, check, Roger, that there. Yeah, ought to be a way cool running machine there when you're done with it.
Oh, yeah, it'll be great, man.
That's right. Just another day in paradise. Oh, yeah.
Hi there, Matt. They're chattering up and down. It sounds like it's busy out there. So, yeah, we just got finished doing some yard work. We're going to jump in the rain locker and...
Out there around New York, top of the day, bud. I didn't catch that number, but I do hear you around the desert, man. Sounding real good. Top of the day, 163. Mud Duck Radio Station, New Mexico. We're clear. 316. Oh, by the way there, boys and girls, dial them in. This is the one that's on frequency. Here's a freebie. We'll give you a 10 count. Dial them in. 10-987-654-321. We're clear and gone. Hey, 149. Sounded good around the desert, but we're going to get out of here now. 149. Take care. 7-3 Central Iowa, sounding real good around the desert.
How you doing there, 106, 316, leaving?
No, it's just a regular, it's a highly modified, man. It's a striker, but it's a highly modified striker using the Ranger SRA 190M mic, but I appreciate it. It's sounding good too around the desert. Mud Duck Radio Station, we're back to the bench.
Hey, how you doing there, 106? Well, you hear it sound real good over this way. It's still good one.
What?
And cornbread jolly is going on.
It sounds like a whole bunch of chicken scratch going on there right now. Come on, somebody come in here and fix my speaker.
Anybody can hear anybody out here.
Hey, South Carolina, I didn't catch the number, but we heard you in there, but it sounded good. Hello around the Carolinas, 163. That little bitty mud duck radio station in the desert. We are clearing out the key.
I heard you in there. You're always on top of the pile, my friend. Take care, brother.
Oh, yeah. The window lickers. Watch out for the window lickers and the schemers and scammers. I heard a couple of them in there trying to get through. Yeah, you got to watch out for them from that Striker Radio Club SRC. Just type in CB Radio Hall of Shame. You'll know who they are. Pay attention.
40 dB over, my friend.
Yeah, they're so miserable.
I hear you and about 1,500 other stations out there, man.
What am I talking on? I'm talking on a highly modified Striker 955.
You'll be...
Yeah. I build these for professional drivers. Using just a Ranger mic. It's like I said, it's a highly modified Striker. I can talk here anywhere I want to go or go to the boat. Just keep the mic, Templar. One radio.
Everybody keys up and get
one radio, one microphoneio. Do you hear all those window lickers in there crying? The schemers, scammers, and fraudsters from the Striker Radio Club SRC. You want to know who they are, just type in CB Radio Hall of Shame. That's where they're at. Pay attention. And like all the other reputable technicians know, if you just read the description below any video, it explains the bare minimum of the type of equipment that you actually need. Now, we're not talking just part swappers, repairing radios. Anybody can swap parts. But to actually tune one of these exports, it explains in detail what the bare minimum is, what's required to tune one, AM, FM, and sideband. Stay tuned in. You know who it is. Watch out for those window lickers.
You are 1,501 on the list there. Good evening.
Every time you get those undesirables, the schemers and fraudsters from that Striker Radio Club SRC, that hate and discontent out there. They've been exposed, so they come out there and whine and cry.
It is what it is, man. So enjoy the
battle. I expose you. That's how it works. It's not the other way. Don't be delusional. I put you there. If you're there, you either got the boot because you're disrespectful and a schemer and a scammer, so now you're on the CB Radio Hall of Shame. Stop crying.
All right, Roger.
That's where they're at, the CB Radio Hall of Shame. Yeah, every time you get those fraudsters, schemers, scammers, that's what you get out there. They usually come from that Striker Radio Club SRC. I doubt if you put them all together, the techs, they might be able to repair one, but to be able to repair, tune, and install one, I don't think they have enough people in there. Yeah, poor little guys are so miserable. I won't teach them anymore, poor guys. Yeah, they are definitely highly medicated. Have you seen those videos yet from those guys? If they can't show you a bench, man, how can you let them touch your stuff? Just go to Amazon, buy it, and don't touch it. Those kitchen table tunes and frosters over there without calibrated test equipment playing their hocus pocus. Those guys tune radios without the radio even connected to the coax. Just type it in, the CB Radio Hall of Shame frosters.
The Motor City out there in Michigan. Good evening, too.
Right, if they don't have a spectrum analyzer, if they can't connect the radio directly to the spectrum analyzer, they're either incompetent or a con artist. Take your pick.
Got some potty mouths out there.
Toronto, hello around Toronto. You're making the trip sounding good around the desert.
I know. Everybody getting worked up over nothing. All right, well, take care over there and have a good day, man. 105 Arizona. Hey, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, so I expose all the fraudsters, the scam artists, the golden screwdriver jackers. Hear them in there now, they're trying to talk, but Poor little guys are so miserable they've been exposed on the CB Radio Hall of Shame.
I almost want to believe him, except he only works on Striker Radio, so I should tell you something. Roger. All right, well, thank God I can't hear Mark.
Yeah, there's some definitely strange ones in there. They got some deep-seated psychological issues. You can hear them scratching from time to time. They're all from that CB Radio Hall of Shame group. Poor little guys. They're just so miserable. What you should do is just lick your little paws, climb under the porch, stay there till you figure things out. You know, we're all tired of the schemers and the scammers and you hack shops. Everybody's tired of it. You've been exposed. If you can't show me, not somebody else, in a video that you actually have a bench, a real name, not some fake name, and calibrated test equipment that you've done a radio where I can view your video, not something else or somebody else. You must do it to where I can see it on YouTube and inspect your bench and that you can go directly into your spectrum analyzer. I mean, if you even open your mouth claiming that you know something, it just goes to prove you have zero integrity and skills. If you can't go direct into your spectrum analyzer and show it, you're just a fraud, plain and simple. Right. If you can't show me, you may as well figure just hang it up. We're tired of all the scam artists out there. What's the matter, man? Did I expose you again? You can't show a video? If you can't, doesn't matter about somebody else. You got to do a video. Address it to me. Yeah, because we expose all the little schemers and scammers out there. And we'll just make it easy. If they don't have a Faraday cage, if they're doing this junk on like a kitchen table. Oh, God. The public deserves what they give them. Anyways, if you can't go direct into the spectrum analyzer. I mean, anybody that shows anything already knows this. If you can't show the radio's output AM, FM, and both sidebands on a spectrum analyzer directly connected, if it's, I mean, you have to be able to see the back of the radio straight into the spectrum analyzer and the calibrations. If they can't show you that, they're either a con artist or incompetent. It's plain and simple. Stop your little whining, guys. We're all tired of it. You've been exposed. Now take it like a man. Take it like a man. You've been exposed for being con artists and golden screwdriver jockeys. If you can't connect the radio straight to the spectrum analyzer, you're either incompetent or a con artist. Just take it like a man already. Stop your whining and crying. Yeah, they've been exposed, poor little guys. Just if you're going to get like an export radio, best I can tell you, you know, if you would imagine what I've seen in the last 40 years plus from coast to coast, oh, God. Yeah, from a lot of different radio shops. Now, there's some guys that can repair them, but the actual tuning process requires a lot more skill and equipment. Yeah, it's just expensive. But anyways, all you got to do is just type in any of the videos and it explains it in detail what's actually required to tune an export radio that comes out of the box to either tune factory at 28 to 29 megahertz. See, that's not where you talk normally. So it does require specific skills and test equipment, analog test equipment, not digital. All that phase noise and the generators, etc. You want nothing to do with that. If they can't show you, again, this is it's like the Bible or radio. If they can't show you, and if they come up with any kind of excuse that calibrations are irrelevant or, you know, just use a sampler, they're incompetent or a con artist. It's that easy. Yeah, we're all sick and tired of these con artists out there. It's just sick and tired of it. It's a window ligger crowd, yeah, from the Striker Radio Club SRC. Poor little guys are so miserable. They just don't shut up. The more they talk, the more I will expose you. That's all there is to it. If you cannot connect the radio to the spectrum analyzer without anything in line, you're just a con artist or incompetent, plain and simple. Right. I mean, why would they even bother with a spectrum analyzer if they can't connect it, directly? They got little samplers and coaxes and all kinds of hocus-pocus junk trying to fool you like they think that you're that stupid. That's what they think. They're hoping that you're that stupid. Yep. They hope that you're that stupid trying to pull the wool over your eyes. If they can't connect the radio directly to the spectrum analyzer, stay away. Right. Exactly. If they can't connect, so you just forget it. Something simple, like single final radios or just a single PLL, one radio cover 29. That's what most people they really need. But the dual final export radios are much more complicated, and the service manual is pretty much useless on these radios. Right, the service manuals on these are pretty much useless, so you got to know what you're doing. You might get them close, but there'll be a splatter box, and you won't sound clear on the AM or sideband. Then they eventually blow up. I'm just sick and tired of repairing them all the time for people. If they don't have a spectrum analyzer where they can go direct, it's that simple. Pay attention. If they can't go direct and you can't see the back of the radio and the coax going straight to the spectrum analyzer, find someone who's honest and competent.
That's out there on Long Island, isn't it?
Right. They're crying like little babies. The thing is you have to spend some money. I know a couple hundred or a couple thousand. You got to spend some money for a decent piece of test equipment, like a service monitor, especially one that you can go direct and keep it calibrated. Yes, it makes all the difference in the world. That's why these poor little window lickers are crying so hard. Stop crying, guys. Stop crying. You screwed up. You failed your audition. You were disrespectful. Or if I know for a fact that you're disrespectful on the radio, you're not going to get one. I will expose you. You shut up around the desert, top of the day. Yeah, it's the year 2022. I got like 900 videos. I mean, there's other guys doing some videos too, some ham guys, that expose the same things. But I'm pretty bold and direct about it. I don't have time to beat around the bush. No, I ain't got time for that. Not without pavement, Look, I mean, it's simple. These guys are playing three-card Monte on you. At the back of the truck stop by the garbage can, playing card tricks on you. Hocus pocus. I got a bunch of those hocus pocus videos exposing these morons, I guess you can call them, because they think you're that stupid. They actually think you're that stupid. If they can't show you actual calibrated test equipment and the radio, now pay attention. Because when I'm in key, they're going to be crying again because they know it's a fact. I mean, these guys that are, schemers, scammers, and frauds, they don't want you to know the truth. But the truth will be known, as you can hear this little mud duck radio. Anyways, if they cannot connect the back of the radio straight to the front of the spectrum analyzer, they are playing hocus pocus on you. Plain and simple. It doesn't matter what they claim. It doesn't matter what they say. It's hocus pocus. Avoid anyone touching your radio that cannot connect directly to the spectrum analyzer. Stay tuned in. Yeah, it's all that hocus, but they think you're stupid, I put it all in front of you guys. I put it all right there. It's laid out. You just go check out the CB Radio Hall of Shame group. Oh, there's some doozies in there. Now, there are some guys that can do some part swapping in there. But again, if they're not going direct into their spectrum analyzer, and the oscilloscope's different, you can see the both per division in the time. But most spectrum analyzers are service monitors, the cheaper ones that don't have the proper options and updates, which cost thousands of dollars. If they're serious about this stuff, they're going to have $30,000 to $50,000 in their equipment and their Faraday cage and equipment, etc. But if they're just using some cheap little Regal or something like that, they're playing hocus pocus. They're attenuating all those harmonics, spurious emissions, and out of band spikes. That's what they're doing. You'll see one little spike, right? Now that you're probably thinking about this, you're looking at some other YouTube videos, you're saying, hey, how come that looks so much different than hard drives? That's because they're playing hocus pocus on you. They're thinking, they're acting to you like you're that stupid. They actually are slapping you in the face, acting like you're that stupid. Pay attention. Yes, they're very, very misleading out there. They can't go direct from the back of the radio straight to the spectrum analyzer. They're playing hocus pocus. They're hoping and praying that you're that gullible and stupid. It's just like card tricks is all it is. It's like going audio or meter beta watts on a meter beta farm, right? So it's not much different. They can't go direct. I mean, if they're not going direct from the radio straight into the spectrum analyzer, if they have the wrong spectrum analyzer, well, they don't want to spend the money. Or so what they realize, and I've told a bunch of these guys, like my first got on YouTube, Facebook, talked to them in private, if they started using test equipment, they realize that their work really, really, really sucks, and it requires a lot more skills and parts to change and manipulate, whatever you want to call it, to get within the 2.7 kilohertz on AM or sub band, the proper bandwidth on FM. It's a lot more complicated than just going audio into the meter or you looking at some goofy looking waveform on a scope trying to fool people. You can't hide all these tricks, that these guys play when you go direct into the spectrum analyzer, hiding 40, 60, 80 dB of that signal. Otherwise, when you see it, well, it's going to work, but you'll always notice high SWR problems. If you go into an amplifier, you can have all kinds of issues. You want something like that when you pay for to have something decent, right? If they can't go direct into the spectrum analyzer from the radio in plain sight, find someone who's honest and competent. Stay tuned in. Yeah, they're going to cry. You can hear them crying now. When you expose them like that, some guys are probably sitting back saying, oh my God, hard drive is right. And many have. I get phone calls, emails throughout the last, decade about this fact. The ones that have dignity and integrity, most, they realize that it's a fact. They show this stuff on YouTube all the time. Right, if they can't go direct, from the spectrum or from the radio, and not no hocus pocus piece of coax either. Short piece of coax from the back of the radio, seeing the face of the radio, like I stated in all the videos. If you can't see everything in plain sight, it's intentional. If their equipment isn't directly in front of them, if it's off to the side or over here, over there, it's just hocus pocus. Think about it. The spectrum analyzer and the oscilloscope is the #1 tool, not a meter. So when they got a meter farm in front of them, just meters sitting everywhere, or they got to reach up to get their oscilloscope or spectrum analyzer, they're just plain hocus pocus, plain and simple. Yeah, if they've been exposed, they're going to cry, but it's just a public service announcement. Look at it that way. Pay attention. Yeah, when different ham radios, single final radios, those are different. When you start talking about export radio, you got to have the proper test equipment. Anybody getting in there and just turning screws, anybody could do that. But when you get inside of an export radio, the Anytones, the Galaxies, the Rangers, you got to have the proper equipment and knowledge to tune them. Or just get them on Amazon or eBay. Don't let nobody touch them. You're welcome. South Carolina, son, and get around the desert. Hi there around the Carolinas. Take care, man. It sounded good. Enjoy your radio and Mother Nature, too. Watch out for those window lickers and con artists out there, though. Right, exactly, man. I mean, if they can't show you, stay away. Unless you're just looking for some, geek and peak truck stop tune or something like that. If you really need something, you got to find someone who's honest and competent that actually has, calibrated test equipment. And the number one thing for receive is a Faraday cage. Oh, don't let them touch your receiver if they're not inside of one. And for the transmit for an export radio, this is specifically for the export radios. Not so much the typical little AM radios or AM sideband radios like the Cobra Unidons, etc., but the multi-band export radios, especially the Strikers. If they can't show you how the radio performs, directly from the radio, not no hocus pocus. You must be able to see in plain view. I mean plain view, not no ever set the camera off, because these guys are always playing hocus pocus. Make sure that you can see the coax connector to the back of the radio goes straight into the spectrum analyzer. Otherwise, they're acting like you're stupid. They're trying to play the hocus pocus on you. Stay tuned in. Yeah, see, it's like the factory vinyls, They're the HFE, the turn-on voltage. I mean, the fact that the quality control on these radios, on the Rangers, the Galaxies, the Strikers, the Presidents, is just off the hooks. Normally, you got to change those. You just can't tune them. You can tune them to a point, but still, the IMD, the out-of-band spikes, the harmonics are just ridiculous. When you go to sideband, it's even worse. Right. You heard all those little window lickers and the undesirables from the schemers, scammers, and fraudsters just a little bit ago? They're the ones that are trying to hide all these facts. They don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to know the truth. If you cannot connect the back of a radio to straight into the spectrum analyzer, you can guarantee it's hocus pocus. Pay attention. Yeah, they'll never be clear, in other words. They'll never be clear, and they won't last as long. Figure all that intermodulation, distortion, all those spikes and harmonics. If you only talk on them, maybe 20 seconds a day, it'll probably last you a long time. But if you like to get on the radio and talk all day long, like a truck driver or some guys at home, notice how they blow up. All you guys with those little anytones, and think about the past and the Strikers, how many of those just blew up all the time. You got to stay tuned in for the new one. We'll do some videos in the future. In West Virginia, son, get around the desert. Your antenna's working good around West Virginia 128. Take care. Mud duck in the desert, clear. 909-120 call.
As always,
Jamaica. 224 Jamaica, standing by. Good afternoon, 223, 633.
Hello, 5909-120 Washington. Yeah, I heard a nice on the radio say, oh yeah, sounded good. 9-120, you're 20 over in Washington State, doing a good job, wave 73. Hello around South Carolina, you're showing up around the desert, sounding good, top of the day. 99, you sounded good. Hey, window liquor, crash dummy, we're tired of hearing, no matter what frequency it is, we're all tired of hearing you. Go find something else to do. That's one of those guys from that CB Radio Hall of Shame group. One of the schemers, scammers, and fraudsters. Go away, we're tired of hearing your trash. Go away. You've been exposed for being a scamster, con artist, or a hack shop. Now go away. Go lick your little paws. Climb under the porch and think about the next time you key the mic. There we go. More of those window lickers, schemers, scammers from the CB Radio Hall of Shame crowd. They always come from that Striker Radio Club SRC group, the undesirables of the CB Radio community. Go away. We're tired of hearing you. I already know there's plenty of videos about you guys hacking up radios. Now get out of here. And when you've been exposed, now get out of here. I don't know if it's a window licker or crash dummy. You just don't learn. 28, you're still showing up around the desert. It's nice how clean you can make it, bud. It's all about how clean you can make it. Right, exactly. It's how clean you can make it. Yeah, I've been trying to explain to people for decades. You know, people say, man, how do you do that? How do you do that? Well, you got to have calibrated test equipment. And if you can find somebody, go for it. But you make sure, here's the key. One of them, I'll give you probably the second biggest one. If they can't show you your radio being connected directly to the spectrum analyzer, don't ever accept any kind of hocus pocus lame excuse. It's only going to be an excuse, an inferiority type of excuse, or scamming something. But if they can't connect the radio directly to the spectrum analyzer, find someone who's competent and honest.
05 Arizona.
Yeah, just go buy a Ken Wood or Yaesu, then and be done with it. If you get them online, get them on Amazon and don't let nobody touch it.
Well, I apologize. I got about 3 or 4,000 stations coming back to me one time. Heard all you guys out there. You have a super fine day coming up, and we'll try to plug someone out, man. 105 Arizona, we're on the side. 685, I heard you for sure, man. What's going on? All right, hey, you sound good, man. 685, always a pleasure, man, out there. Okay, you stay warm.
Hey, where's that temperature at around the mid-60s?
Freaking spring's coming up pretty soon, man, so I know you're going to warm up pretty soon. Well, take care, brother.
It's not too bad down here. It's like 68 degrees around the desert, top of the day.
Take care, man. We'll talk to you again later.
Now it's 685 Ontario. You're sounding real good. Spot on frequency and good audio. 685 around Ontario, Canada, top of the day. Stay warm. Raji, southwest corner of New Mexico, close to the Arizona line. Back at you, Tom 685, around Ontario. Got Mark over here, 163. Sounding great, man. Whatever you do, don't change nothing until we do it again. We're clear.